Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Owoleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, we have Barrister Austin Manta, a very senior legal practitioner, joining us as always. Barrister, thank you very much for joining us once again.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, let's go straight to the point. Let's talk about INEC. I read earlier in the week that INEC is actually prosecuting electoral offenders from the 2000 and 2023 both presidential and state elections, governorship elections. Okay, let me read this. Let me just read briefly, just a part of this news. It's no longer news anyway. Held accountable. INEC prosecutes 774 electoral offenders from 2023 polls. During the first quarterly meeting with media executives, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, on Friday reveals that alleged offenders from the 2023 general elections are currently facing prosecution across the country. Yakubu said the 774 alleged electoral offenders are being prosecuted in collaboration with the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. However, he expressed concerns over delays in the process due to the absence of an electoral offenses tribunal and a defined time frame for such cases. He noted that regular courts, burdened with multiple responsibilities, often do not give electoral offenses the urgent attention they require. All right, I think that's it to save time. Barrister, I have my two questions. I have two questions here. First, why are we still talking about prosecuting electoral offenders at this point? This is almost by May. Sorry, what am I even talking about? This is, of course, this marks exactly 2 years. Exactly 2 years, because the election was in February. So this is exactly 2 years. By 25th of the February of this month, we'll be marking 2 years of since the election was held. We are still 2 years. It's been 2 years. We are still talking of prosecuting people who committed electoral offenses. For God's sake, is that not overstretched? I don't get it. Why are we still talking about it after 2 years? That is one. Secondly, we are talking about electoral offenders, and we have the chairman. The chairman is the one, obviously, but the commission is the one doing that, but the chairman is the head of the commission. He is the one prosecuting 774 electoral offenders. Why? What moral justification does he have? Is he morally justified to prosecute electoral offender, people probably who committed minor crimes, as against he himself, that is the electoral offender in chief, who raped us, who bastardized the entire electoral system and gave us the menace that we have in the presidency called Bola Tinubu today? Barrister, please, can you help me answer these two questions?
Well, thank you very much for this bringing up this issue. I recall that on this your platform, we have discussed the elections, the aftermath of the elections, the failures of the election. To me, I view this as scapegoating, picking and choosing one or two people who participated in the process at lower levels to prosecute, so that you will tell the people that, oh, we are dealing with the flaws. The flaws of the election are structural. So going to pick one or two people and say you are prosecuting them will not solve any problem. It will not restore confidence in the system, and it will not bring the desired result. When the Electoral Act 2020 was passed, it was greeted with nationwide acceptance. People felt that at last we have the law and the structure to deliver an election that will be accepted we bring out the true mandate of Nigerians, and we aggregate to a proper electoral process. There were provisions in the Electoral Act that made a lot of us have that hope that at last this thing was going to be successful. We didn't reckon with INEC, who had all along promised, convinced Nigerians that they were going to follow the Electoral Act. The chairman himself came up repeatedly, assured Nigerians that, look, you are going to see the result of the elections live. You will be watching it as the votes are cast and being tabulated. People felt confident. They knew where the process used to be truncated, between police station and collation centers. Now you are going to bypass it. From the police station's result will be projected on the portal. You will sit in your house with your phone or your laptop and watch the result in real time. It gave us confidence. Project into the election. What happened? All of a sudden, we started hearing that no, INEC can do what they like. They have a discretion not to project the elections in real time, to the extent of saying that portal was not important. The result put in the portal was no longer important. It is the result that INEC signed that you can now reckon with. Nobody asked the question, why should there be a difference? Why should there be a dichotomy between the result INEC projected on their portal and the physical result signed? Nobody bothered to ask. Nigerians, as disappointed as they were, rushed to the courts, hoping that the court can put INEC in its place and assure Nigerians of a credible electoral process. But it was not to be. The highest court allied with INEC, and today we have what we have. An electoral process that the people have not bought into. An electoral process that we know has not delivered the mandate of the Nigerian people. An electoral process that both within and outside does not have the requisite confidence to deliver a credible electoral process. So when you now talk 2 years after, of course, during the election, people were arrested here and there. Yeah. They are subject to normal prosecutorial processes in the courts. There have been campaigns that a separate tribunal should be set aside to prosecute electoral offenses. I have never believed in that, because that is not the issue. You are coming after the fact. You have delivered the election, people are ruling. They are governors, people are president, they are ruling. Senators are there, House of Reps members are there. You now go and prosecute a few people. That does not affect the result of the election. That does not affect the mandate of the president. That does not affect the mandate of the governors, House of Reps, senators, and other people who were elected. They are busy causing up and executing their mandate. So, prosecuting these few people here and there, for me, why it is correct is of no consequence. Because the main architect of this failure, nobody has prosecuted them. Nobody has called them to account. Even the matured political decision to retire or to resign that you can see in advanced countries, you have presided over a process that the people do not have confidence in. You by yourself, without anybody telling you, you retire or resign. We have not seen that. The man is still there, to pretending subsequent election, even preparing to pretend the 2027 election. And then you hear, oh, we are prosecuting some people, the courts are delaying the process, this and that. This is trying to scapegoat, and you see the time this issue is coming up because of 2027. As we move to 2027, everybody is now prepared. INEC themselves, the chairman himself, is positioning himself to shift the blame from himself to other actors of the electoral process. This is unfortunate. The first thing that this man should have done is to have resigned his position as INEC, whether he delivers successfully or not, as a result of the huge cry of the Nigerian people. He should have, even if he felt he has successfully
Honestly,
done, he would have resigned that position or be removed.
yeah,
But
honestly, that was exactly what in fact, honestly, I thought he he actually had the courage to rig the election because he just wanted to retire. Probably they'll pay him billions of naira and he just honestly, that was what I thought. That okay, I will do this and just retire and probably for now relocate, leave the country for now. Because definitely, just like you noted earlier, you said earlier that he received a whole lot of bashing from different quarters, both locally and internationally. A sort of so honestly, I expected him to either resign or be fired by Tinubu. At least in Tinubu's case, for him to at least have at least an iota, just an iota of credibility that okay, he's trying to do the right thing for the first time. But for for the INEC chairman to still have the effrontery, the impunity, the temerity to still after all that he did against the crime he committed against us, for him to still remain and Tinubu still allow him to remain. Honestly, it's really it's a not just a slap, it's a blow, serious blow, punch, eh, to our faces. I'm telling you, that is just it's an insult on injury. That is just honestly, it is just so sad. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know why we Nigerians are taking this, are really tolerating this Tinubu's rascality and excesses. Insult. This man Tinubu is just, I don't know, the way he treats Nigerians, Nigeria as a nation and Nigerians as citizens it is so disrespectful. Honestly, he's really taking us for granted. He's really abusing the patience of Nigerians. It is just so glaring. Now, Barrister, my next question is because it is obvious that is exactly what he is trying to do now. He wants the same Jega to conduct the next election, 2027 election. It is obvious because you cannot tell me that it's very hard for me to be convinced that Tinubu will keep this man up to 2 years or up to close to the election and then remove him and bring in someone that he's not even sure of his or her loyalty. Barrister, do you think that Nigerians will accept Jega in 20 to conduct not Jega, sorry, Mahmood Yakubu to conduct the 2027 presidential election? Do you think Nigerians will accept it?
it is not a question of Nigerians accepting it. In the first place, when he was appointed, Nigerians they didn't have a veto power over his appointment. His confirmation was done by the Senate. Now, if you come to 2027, either of two things will happen, or both of them will happen. Either Mahmoud will be removed and another person brought in, or we will have a ritual of amendment of the electoral process. So as to, they always play on the intelligence of the
Yes,
average.
of Nigerians.
It was okay. We have observed the discrepancies in the former electoral process. We have changed the umpire, the head of the umpire. We are now changing the electoral act. But we have seen now that it is going to take more than changes in the electoral act, more than changes in the leadership of INEC to deliver on a free and fair election in Nigeria. We have seen an example that it is not just a change in this leadership and the electoral act that we ensure. There are legal issues that are involved. The Supreme Court threw up a lot of legal issues, basically saying that INEC can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
That the judgment of the Supreme Court is summary. That is what it is. So you now set out the rules. Even apart from the Electoral Act, INEC guidelines. INEC themselves used to produce guidelines for the electoral process, step by step how it is done. Then you, the Supreme Court, you now say that they can put aside the electoral process. I mean the Electoral Act, put aside their own guidelines and then do what they please. Have the discretion to do what they please. So where do we go from there?
Yeah, why do we have the law?
It's a discretion of the person, whatever he wants, he will do. That is why I said changing somebody is only to pull wool over the eyes of Nigerians. Changing the Electoral Act, I suspect you will hear as we move towards it, you will hear amendments to the 2020 Electoral Act. These are all designed to pull wool over Nigerians' eyes, the eyes of Nigerians.
So my question is,
yes.
My question, I need you to answer this question. So do you think, I need it in clear terms, please. Do you think Nigerians, when I say Nigerians will accept, it means it's not the usual foul cry from different angles, people just making commentaries and criticizing or whatever. Do you think when I say will accept, I mean actually protest, go on the street to protest against Mahmoud Jega, not Jega, sorry, Mahmoud Yakubu conducting the chair in the 2027 general election? Do you think Nigerians will accept it in this light?
It's a difficult question to ask, but my instincts will tell me that we will not see. Here and there, you can see people say, no, they don't want, maybe few, but not a national protest or a national movement that will prevent him from doing that. That one we are not likely to see. We are not likely to see it.
Honestly,
the Nigerian political system is so complex. Interests are being built up across the country today for the power that be to remain, for the system that is in place to remain. All across the country, people are buying into that narrative, into that interest. So they have credible following. They have substantial finances. They have security forces, military, police, paramilitary, everything at their beck and call. So it's going to be difficult. All they need to do, and knowing Nigerians, we remove the chairman of INEC. We also amend the Electoral Act so that we can, and a lot of people will be satisfied. People will even forget that this amendment was done in 2020 and they did not follow it. Nigerians are like that.
Honestly, if we take this from Tinubu, honestly, if Nigerians do not go beyond just like what we are doing right now, do not go beyond just criticizing and calling Tinubu's name and rejecting by word, rejecting Mahmoud Yakubu. But honestly, if we do not go beyond that, honestly, we are all fools and will remain fools forever. I'm telling you, if we tolerate 2027 election with the same Mahmoud Yakubu chairing INEC, then in fact, if left to me, if I will be given the opportunity or the privilege to advise, honestly, I will advise the entire political parties not to participate in the election. As long as, because that's why I asked that question. I'm expecting such scenario to take place, that there will be protests from the political parties to actually reject Mahmoud Yakubu as the chairman of the. But if they fail to do this, and Nigerians fail to actually fight against this same criminal of called Mahmoud Yakubu. Honestly, if we fail to do the needful, I am telling you, Nigeria will never. We will never. It will be. It's not a cause. It's just. I'm just being pragmatic. I'm just being a pragmatist, and that's just it. The barrister. Do you expect such scenario?
No, I sincerely speaking, I do
Yeah, I
not
noticed you
expect
were
it
just you were smiling
because
and nodding.
you have to understand how the system works here.
So
There
you
are
you
a
want to
lot
tell
of
me?
people.
Sorry to cut you short. You want to tell me that even with what happened in 2023, Peter Obi, Atiku, and Co. will still allow Mahmoud Yakubu to conduct the 2027 election? Is that what you still believe in?
Look, Nigeria is such a funny situation. You will, and I always tell people, and I repeat it, my observation and experience of the Nigerian system is that it defies the normal. The Nigerian system defies the normal. You are there expecting, oh, this thing happened. Normally, people will not accept it to repeat itself. But the Nigerian system operates on the abnormal. We are not normal people, like maybe the rest of the world, that you expect that we have been beaten and we will resist the second beating.
Honestly,
People are ready to take power as governors, as senators, as House of Reps members, as local government chairmen, as councillors, to become ministers, to become commissioners. They will not brook anybody that will come up and try to to prevent them from getting what they want. They will ally with any government to do that. And look, when you say political parties coming together, there's no chance that political parties in Nigeria will come together and boycott the election. Because almost all of them have strength in like states. You will boycott a state. I mean, you will participate in local government election, in
state.
state elections, in Senate, and then boycott the presidential election. Or which one will you boycott? You have strength in your party, you have your governors in your state. Then you are now saying you are going to boycott so that the other one will come and capture your state. That's the way the politicians think here. They are not thinking of the overall health of our politics. They are not thinking of the overall health of our electoral process. They are thinking exclusively on a selfish and personal basis of what will come to them, whether the power or whether position or whether finance. That's how people think here. So if you are expecting that politicians will, parties or people will come together and say, oh, we cannot accept this, we are not going to participate in the election, I don't think that will happen. That's my candid opinion.
Wow. Honestly, I hope you are not right. I hope,
I hope myself too that
honestly,
I'm wrong. I
honestly,
hope I'm wrong. Even
honestly.
though, even though, even if the process goes on well, even if it delivers, I still do not have hope in the outcome because the structure, we have talked about this to JIBRIN over and over. This system that we operate, even if you bring the best person, he's not going to deliver. The structural corruption is too overwhelming. If you are talking in terms of percentage, the corruption is 99.99%. So how do you, the critical mass of people, whether at the national level, whether at the state level, that will drive change are not there. You will not find them. If you come as president with a good mind, you are alone. You are singularly alone. You will not get enough people to help you drive your agenda, to help you drive the progress that this country needs. You will not get them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. All right. I think I agree with you because when it comes to election matters, you are an authority in it. You've prosecuted several election cases, sort of.